So I'm gonna like last time. There was a whole long frickin' thing to read. I'm gonna reread it to get everyone's reminder. Give everyone like a reminder. Um, Basically, Crescent is a male ensign security officer. I believe you guys are on the right page. Yeah, you guys are in the power distribution room, and he is a security officer. His name is Officer Crescent. Um, Grelba is the assistant chief engineer. However, strangely enough, he's the one working on the computers, and she's the one kind of with a disruptor rifle pointed in your general direction. Um, Go ahead and read to you what he tells you once again, to like I said before, as a reminder. Couple weeks ago, the Alcove, which is the station that you're on, begun its test of their new subspace communications relay. Unfortunately, although the initial stages were a success, the next phase of testing failed immediately. The power distribution conduits overloaded, causing cascading system failures, and a spatial anomaly that resulted in the subspace relay negatively interacting with a piece of quantum technology smuggled aboard the station by the Alcove's assistant chief engineer. So yeah, basically, assistant chief engineer, the woman with the disruptor, smuggled aboard some kind of tech that negatively interacted with the subspace experiment. Um, the anomaly was a quantum bubble that moved the space station to its previous location prior to its relocation by the Klingon Empire for safety and intelligence reasons years ago. So basically, they built it in one location, then they moved it to another location for intelligence and safety reasons. But the quantum bubble that surrounded it moved it back to its original location. Hence all the time issues that were going on. Space and time issues. Then a Breen warship called the BCS Doth arrived soon after this failed experiment and unknowingly entered the quantum temporal anomaly to board the Alcove and take anything of value. During the boarding action, weapons fire between the aggressive Breen and the resisting Klingons, Kryosian, Nausicaans, Orions, and Gorn caused a secondary subspace explosion at the docking port that sent the BCS Doth to another location in the space-time continuum, stranding the intruders. So the Breen are basically stranded on the station. They're more than likely in the science lab trying to figure out how to get out of there. Their second in command, which is the Breen intruder leading them, along with his Breen boarding party, are actually, let's see, okay, are actually in the science lab. As far as these two know, Grelba and Crescent, they are trying to find a way out of this quantum anomaly. But Grelba has basically said that she no longer has the bit of technology, so more than likely they either have it or it's lost somewhere on the station. The Alcove's crew had fought the Breen, but lost. The only survivors were the Kryosian security officer Crescent and the Klingon assistant chief engineer Lieutenant Grelba. But the subspace interference caused the disruptors, communications, sensors, transporters, etc., and other systems to become disrupted, as is known with subspace interference. Aboard the Alcove, the Breen have been trying to either locate or repair the scientific systems in the science lab, essentially, like I said before, to try to get out of this subspace quantum field that they're in, that the Alcove is in. Throughout all of this, Crescent and Grelba have been staying hidden in the Jefferies tubes, crawl spaces, and in the power distribution center, trying to regain control of the station and reroute power to the distribution center. As of right now, they have been unsuccessful. I am going to need rolls from everybody. I'm going to roll the intelligence officer, Commander Locke's first, and basically whatever he gets, since he's an android that everyone has magically just found out about, that's pretty much the difficulty. So he is gonna roll. We're gonna say insight and command or security. Either one is fine. And the difficulty is gonna be 1. So I need everyone who's in the power distribution center. So Tali, you don't have to roll that because you are in the shuttle bay. Lex, you have succeeded. Edgeford, you have succeeded. Jeez, Angstrom. With your 4 successes.
You're over-succeeded. You're over-succeeded.
You over-succeeded. Well, it gives you... Well, you guys are... Where are you guys at on momentum? Do y'all remember?
We were at 5.
5 last game. 0 Mon to clear complication 4 from the rolls. I think you're at... Yeah, you're at 5. And then, so you're at 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 2... You have 2 bonus momentum. I am actually going to spend 2 threat to say you can't use the bonus momentum for what I'm about to, tell you happens to your fellow crew members, but you can use it for pretty much anything else. So a blast of energy radiates from, you're unsure where because it's a blast of energy. It's just light essentially, and you guys, everybody who rolled more than 0 successes, notice your boarding party commander, Karava, collapse unconscious, as well as Mr. Shamar, your Cardassian security chief. However, Baines kind of holds her head and shrieks in agony, and then the energy that would have normally kind of reduced her to the floor in pain like the other 2, you see a glistening field appear around her. You're not really sure what that means or what that is, but that's what you see in the millisecond that you can see after being blinded by an energy light source. But she too collapses, and while she is unconscious, Karava and Shamar are kind of, I wouldn't use the term babbling incoherently, but they're definitely kind of not acting normal. They're kind of lying on the floor. Karava is basically muttering something about neuroparasites. Vosky, you probably overhear this and remember feeling something strange earlier about maybe being possessed by a neuroparasite, but that kind of sensation has long passed, but now you hear this and it might stir up some memories. Shamar it looks like he is holding a knife in his hand. He's not, but that's what it looks like. He's making that motion, and he's kind of lying on the ground with his eyes closed, doing this number, kind of shoving the fake knife in the forward direction as if he's trying to ward off an attack. But as of this moment, those 3 individuals are incapacitated. Colonel Lex, you are now in charge of the away team. What do you want to do?
He's like, what the heck? He goes, looks at the Klingon, and he goes, what did you last put the quantum mechanic?
You talking about Grelba?
Yeah.
She says the technology is somewhere on the station. I'm not sure where it is. Go ahead. Whoever wants to can roll another insight and security roll. This one is going to be directly at Grelba and Crescent as far as like a sense motive or traditional perceptiveness check.
Give it a shot, but what's the difficulty? Or is it opposed when we don't know?
It's opposed. I'm going to go ahead and roll on Grelba. I'm going to say for Crescent it's 1. For Grelba it is opposed.
I'm terrible at these, so I won't concede momentum because I'll still fail, but I'll give it a shot. Here comes double complication.
Alright, Alright, so Grelba got 3. So if you didn't get 3 successes, you're not reading Grelba very well. If you got 1 success, then you think Crescent is mostly concerned with, the safety of people and keeping everyone safe and getting everyone safely off the station, etc. Like normal things a security officer would be concerned about. But you're not really getting anything much from Grelba. As far as you're concerned, Grelba's telling the truth that she does not know where this is, where this device is. Now, do you guys want to use the 2 momentum for anything? The 2 bonus momentum. You can't use it to rescue the 3 who are fallen. I'll tell you that right now.
Yep. Let me create an advantage. Anything that comes up.
What kind of advantage do you want to create?
Advantage where we aren't surprised if somebody ambushes us.
Okay, how about this? Who has constantly watching as a talent?
Done is not here.
Yeah. Alright, so never mind then, because I was going to do something cool for that. But I will say that the difficulty to sneak up on you is increased, and the difficulty for you to be able to determine if someone is sneaking up on you is decreased, if that makes any sense. How's that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, that will change if the circumstances drastically change. So, like, let's say you get back to your ship and you feel like you're safely on the marathon and you're going off to do whatever, and then all of a sudden, a troll pops out from, a replicator. You can't possibly predict that. So, but in this current environment and in this current situation, the difficulty
just on
will be
the ship.
Yeah, or the station. Yep. All right.
The
so,
station.
You guys are pretty much. Sorry, go ahead, Edward.
So am I right in my recollection that tricorders are basically non-functional here?
Yeah, if it's more than an arm's length away, your tricorder just reads gibberish.
Well, this is within arm's length, which is, and I suspect it's still going to come out with gibberish, but it'll be useful gibberish, is to just do a tricorder scan over the 3 people who were just immobilized, see if that teaches us anything. I know it won't be able to save them, but maybe we'll understand something.
Reason and science. I'm going to say difficulty 5.
Okay, reason, science, difficulty 5.
It'll be a scaled difficulty though. If you get, I'll say if you get 3 successes, you can get a little bit of information. 5 will give you a lot more.
I'm going to use, let me see, 2 momentum, since we've got a lot. Roll 4 dice.
Okay. Alright.
4
you
successes.
Get almost all of the information then. So yeah, you scan all 3 of them. Do you scan them individually or you scan them all at the same time? Like as a group?
Well, I imagine with that many successes, it would be individually and then also as a group, like both of them, and then you can compare the data.
Yeah, I'll tell you as the group at first. Some kind of quantum energy field has expanded outward from the science lab and affected specifically those 3, kind of merging previous versions of themselves, whether it's from different realities, timelines, whatever, with their current consciousness. Now, individually, you're detecting mostly everything with Shamar, the Cardassian, is more or less the same as far as like his mind. You are detecting that second, slightly a second layer of memory engrams that may tell you that he's remembering another life or memories that aren't his, or whatever, however you want to draw those conclusions. Physically, he is manifesting scars on his body that weren't there before. Like your tricorder is literally telling you, like, scar is appearing here, scar is appearing there. This scar is like 6 weeks old. This scar is like 2 years old. As for Karava, almost all of her physical, like just the way she looks, genetically, facial construction begins to change before your eyes to look like someone that you know very well, that everyone should know very well, as a Commander Denatra, a Romulan officer who once helped Captain Picard during the Battle of the Bassin Rift. And then once that changes, it goes back to what you see on the screen, that token there. Her mind also has the memory engrams kind of fighting for control, as it were. When you scan Baines, you discover just normal human, and then you discover as you're scanning, it just says species unknown for like a half a second, and then goes back to human.
Interesting. And is the species unknown bit linked to the glistening field that was described?
I don't think you would, not even with 4 successes, you wouldn't be able to determine that. You'd have to like literally get her to like a science lab and run experiments on her to figure that out.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, Vosky will relay this information to the entire team and add, I do not know what would happen to these people or to any of us if the alternate versions of ourselves that I believe are being transposed from another reality or version of time were dead, had suffered horrendous injuries, or were simply never born. Just to terrify everyone.
All right. So Colonel Lex, you're in charge of the away team. What do you want to do?
So our best bet is we have to find that quantum mechanic device, quantum device.
Okay. Crescent, Officer Crescent turns to you guys and says, look, if I can bypass the science lab's lockout, someone can go down there and physically grab it, if they have it. We're not sure. Scanners obviously don't work, but if we can bypass that lockout, someone can go physically grab it. But before we do that, we've got to reroute power away from the science lab back to us, because every time we try to get close, they put up a firewall. They've got some security officer on their side is really good at putting up firewalls and etc. So I need someone to help bypass the lockout and reroute power. This is going to be an engineering and or science role for the rerouting of power, and for the bypassing the lockout, it'll be a security or engineering role. So who wants to do what? And you guys have to do this more or less simultaneously, so you can't go from one into the other. You have to have 1 or 2 people on one section and 1 or 2 people on another section.
I can do the engineering role.
Alright, so, well, both of those can be engineering, so which one of those two, the bypass the lockout or the rerouting power, do you want to do?
Might I recommend that you do the rerouting power, because that one can only be engineering or security, the other one can be engineering science. My engineering's not great.
No,
it's
rerouting
okay. It's not my
power
best, but
is engineering or science. Bypass the lockout is engineering security.
Yeah, but crucially the one that isn't science.
Right. Okay, so I'll put Vosky.
Yeah, I can do the one.
Vosky for reroute power, Lex for bypass the lockout. Does anyone else want to assist? One other person can assist either of those, both of those. Do we have an engineering person that, or no? Because
Yes.
I think our security person's unconscious. And
I'm the chief engineer.
yeah, I know. I'm just thinking about others. Like the security guy's unconscious. Yeah. Do we have anyone else? Durlock, if you want to, I think your intelligence guy has a decent security. Decent security.
Okay, dokie.
Alright, so I will put you up here. Lock. Alright. One other person can help Vosky with the rerouting power. And if you want, it can be an NPC. If you don't have a good science or engineering, you can have the assistant chief engineer do it, Grelba, but I don't know how well you trust her. It's up to you guys.
Engstrom has a decent science.
Okay.
For what it's worth.
Fair enough. So I'll put Engstrom as the assist. Alright, so Lex. The Breen pirates in the science lab have locked out the systems and sealed the entrance. You guys must attempt to override the obstruction. This is a control and security and or insight engineering task. The difficulty is 3. So, Lex, which one are you going to use? Control security or insight engineering?
Insight engineering.
All right. And are you gonna buy any dice, or are you gonna just roll it and see what happens?
I'm gonna buy 2 dice with momentum.
Okay. And then Locke, you probably, I'm guessing, go with control and security. Difficulty is 3, but you're just assisting, so I will go ahead and roll for Locke with 1 dice. Excuse me, burping all over the place. All right.
4.
Ooh, nice. All right, so you guys get a momentum back. So you have successfully bypassed the lockout. Now we just need Vosky. Let's see. This is a reason, engineering, or reason and science task. The difficulty is 3. Now this will not restore power to the rest of the station. It will, however, restore power to the power distribution lab, which will then allow you to basically, do whatever you need to do in small sections. It won't let you just bring the whole station back online. With the power restored to the distribution center and the science lab lockout deactivated, you guys may recover the command and control of the station systems after that. Sorry, you were going to say something, Edford?
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm going to buy 1 dice with momentum and 1 dice with threat.
Okay. Where am I on threat? Probably not enough. Oh. Alright, and then Engstrom, it will be a reason and science, just 1 dice, even though he's pretty much succeeded. 3, 4, 5, so you get 2 momentum added to that, so you're at 6 momentum. You have successfully redistributed the power back to the power distribution lab and bypassed the lockout. Now we need someone to recover the command and control of the station systems with a control and command or an insight engineering role. The difficulty is 3. So I'm going to say that the command role has to be the main role. So who is... I'm guessing that'll be you, Lex, because you're in charge of the...
Yep.
Okay. And then who wants to do the engineering role?
I can. Insight engineering is 15 for me.
I think that's pretty good. As an
And it's
executive...
a single...
Yep, single assist, and then difficulty is 3 for you, Lex, for control and command.
I'm gonna use 2 momentum.
Okay. Alright, so you got 4, 5, so that brings you guys up to 6 momentum, I believe. Again. The consoles and lights in the power distribution core come to life. Crescent taps eagerly at the central terminal. The coordinates of the Breen vessel appear on screen. Huh, that's unexpected, Crescent murmurs. The Breen ship is on the other side of the quadrant, closer to Breen territory. The independent mining colony, Dirakist, is less than a light year away, straddling the edge of Sinketi space and unexplored space. It appears that this mining colony has sent an encrypted message to the Doth before the accident occurred. So just to clarify what essentially happened, once the Doth, the Breen ship, entered the field, the subspace field, the quantum field, this colony, which is less than a light year away, sent a message to this Breen ship, and then all of a sudden, once the battle was going on, an explosion happened and sent the Breen ship on the other side of the quadrant back to Breen territory, because you guys are nowhere near Breen territory right now. So what you can assume, actually, I'll let you guys think. What do you guys think that means as far as why the Breen ship was sent where it was sent by the subspace explosion? Does anyone have any theories before you can also roll insight and I can just tell you, but I like it better if you guys try to come up with an idea for it.
But Volsky also notes, with both being impressed and concerned, that this station can seemingly accurately tell the location of a single ship on another side of a quadrant, which is, that's good intelligence. I'm glad they're on our side.
Are we sure it's telling the location of a ship on the other side of the quadrant, or the location of a ship in the past?
That maybe that's where it used to be.
Or maybe even
Yeah.
the future.
Could be
Yeah.
that too. You have no idea.
But either,
This is just what
Yeah.
the computer is telling you.
Basically, he's thinking the quantum mechanic has interfered with the station, which caused all these problems, and now he thinks that realities may be overlapping on the station.
Kosky would nod his head at that, but add that if this station is detecting a ship on the far side of the quadrant, that would suggest that that was the ship's location when this station was built, and that appears to be a common temporal reset. But this communique from a nearby mining installation may be the complicating factor that caused this incident to happen, whether it be by accident or design. This external input has somehow corrupted things. Out of character, looking at it, can we get more details about that message? What it contained, what it said, or is that data lost?
Since it was Crescent who actually did it, I'll allow a reason or insight and science roll to kind of get more information. Difficulty is 1, however, it's not going to give you too much more information just because I don't have it. I will tell
is
you.
It only Crescent?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, is it only Crescent who can make that roll?
No, anyone who's looking over his shoulder, essentially.
I won't consume momentum.
Alright, so give you 2 momentum back. Essentially, what you think that the message was like a happenstance thing. Like somebody sent a message to that ship. And similar to like... So, the Marathon can't... Because of the subspace interference, it can't send a message into the subspace field to your shuttle because of all the subspace interference. So the colony more than likely has had like a what's the word I'm looking for? A pre-dedicated message that they were intending to send that ship, regardless of where it is in the galaxy. And then once... You don't think that the message itself had any effect on where the ship was sent. You just think that it was basically that the message was on its way to the green ship, and then the explosion sent the ship away, possibly before or possibly after the message was sent. If the explosion sent the green ship away, and then that also caused it to leave the subspace interference field, that ship could theoretically have gotten that message before it was sent to the other side of the quadrant. So... but yeah, it seems like just a bunch of bad things happened at once, and the ship was kind of the result. The ship's travels to the other side of the quadrant was the result of a bunch of bad things happening at once. You also don't think that it was anything intentional, on part of the station or the Breen ship. You think this was all just some bad quantum engineering experiment that went horribly, horribly wrong.
I'm so glad that Vosky, without knowing what this thing was going to be about, has a specialism in quantum mechanics, because he knows way more about it than I do.
Well, I'm just making shit up because Technobabble is your friend. Alright, so what's your next step, guys? Where are you going next? And then we will jump to the shuttle in case there is anything Tali wants to do. I just want to know what you guys are doing first before we do that.
Well, at least we've got control down here.
Yep, you do, but...
Let's go and get that... Let's go and get that quantum thing. Seal it off the other people.
So what are you going to do about your 3 catatonic friends?
Oh, right.
Engstrom would volunteer to stay with them if she didn't think that you needed her for other actions on the...
It's up to you, Lex.
Engstrom can stay with him.
Alright.
Engstrom can stay with him.
Do you want to leave a security officer? You have 2 random NPCs that you can leave, or you can leave your intelligence officer to guard, or you can leave the strategic operations officer to guard. It's up to you.
I'll leave the intelligence.
Alright, Durlock. It looks like Commander Locke is going to stay with Engstrom.
Something worth saying too, if there is a secure path back to the shuttle, it might be best to take these crewmates back to the shuttle, but only if the path is clear. which at
There's-
this point I don't think we have a clear path back. 'cause
You
we had to
wouldn't
go
there
through-
wouldn't be able to like the best thing you could possibly do is do an internal scan to detect where, you know, some Breen pirates might be, but Breen armor is known for like dispersing life sign signals, so there really isn't a way to just definitively tell if the path is clear. And also transporters don't work, etc. Like, you're basically in a horrible situation. Staying put is probably for the best, but again, it's up to you guys. And Lex, are you taking Crescent and Garelba, or are you leaving them behind? Do you want them? Garelba's gonna like step forward, like, no, I need to get my stuff back. If they have it, it's dangerous. I need to get it back. So it's up to you, Lex, if you want them to stay or go with you.
I'll have him stay because I know the intelligence officer is here, so... And the intelligence officer is like, can keep a watchful eye.
Garelba says, "Listen here, Romulan. I am going with you whether you like it or not." And she doesn't point her disruptor at you, but she clenches it in her fist really tightly.
I didn't say you weren't.
Didn't you just say you were going to leave her behind?
No.
You
I was leaving the intelligence.
I said, do you want Grelba and Crescent to
Yes.
go with you? And then you said, I will leave them behind because the intelligence officer is here. So, are you taking them with you or not?
I'm taking him with me.
Okay.
And the intelligence officer is watching over everything.
Okay, so
I
the
don't-
intelligence officer and Engstrom are going to remain with the 3 unconscious ones. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Yes.
I just want to make sure, because I just want to make sure we heard each other right. Okay, so she kind of relents and kind of looks over to the other Klingon in the room, Commander Rakta, and gives him like a look. And a question for you, for the player, is that what he looks like? Like, is he missing his forehead ridges, or is that just a random picture that you found?
He's somewhere in between the two, I think.
Okay. She'll give him a look, and I think Rakta will be able to, have it with his psychology degree, assuming he has one. He'll be able to easily tell that she's kind of glaring at his softened ridges as kind of like a insult, and just kind of shakes her head and says, "What are we waiting for? Let's go." All right, Lex. So do you lead the
let's go.
team?
Yep.
All right. I want to jump to Tali real quick. Is there anything that you want to do, or are you still just waiting on the shuttle?
What I want to do, I'm in the shuttle, right?
Yeah, you are in the shuttle with a security officer, an NPC.
All right. Is there any way to do scans while we're inside of the docking bay?
You can attempt to, but the best case scenario, due to the subspace interference, is you might get some scans that are immediately around the docking bay or the shuttle bay that you're in, but not much further than that.
All right, I'll do that. I just want to see if there's any threats, like, close.
Okay, go ahead and give me a reason. I'll let you decide if it's security or science, but it's going to be reason and then security or science, whichever one is higher. And the difficulty is going to be, I'm going to say 4 because of the subspace interference field. And this is just to get something in the immediate vicinity.
Reason's 10, science is 3.
Okay. Do you want to...
Got a 9 and a 2.
Alright, so you aren't able to determine if there's anybody. You know that there's nobody in the shuttle bay because you're physically there, but you're not able to determine if there's anyone beyond the bulkheads. Is there anything else that you want to do? What do you do after that?
I want to try to do a continuous scan just to try to keep the shuttle safe.
Okay. Well, we will then come back to you after we handle the science lab. Let's see. Oh yeah, that music. Sorry guys. Alright, so That's a little too low. If you look at this crazy Roll20 I have going on here, scroll to the right and you'll see where it says emergency access tube. That is pretty much where you guys, the only location that you guys can enter the science lab. Everywhere else is pretty much locked down, guarded, blocked off, emergency airlocks in place. But that is the best access point without getting ambushed and eliminated essentially. So let's see, making sure we got all the tokens. If I forget one, let me know. Let's see, we need one of these guys. Oh yeah, and her too. Okay, so I think... Alright, so when you get through the emergency access tube, you see basically this is the second floor of the science lab, and you see kind of like a bridge gangplank area, and right there is a console. But I need Lex to tell me what your plan is. Who's going in? What are you guys doing? Etc.
He's assuming that he'll send this the two securities first through the door.
Okay, the two NPCs, red
Yep.
shirts as we call them. All right, so they go through. They
Yes.
they nod back to you that there's nobody immediately in the vicinity that see them, or they see, they don't see anyone in the immediate vicinity, and they continue slowly moving forward. Who goes next? I'm gonna say Grubba is pretty much right behind them because she really wants to go. Crescent is gonna try to follow her because you can tell that he doesn't trust her completely. But it's up to you guys where you want to put them, put your characters.
I'm going right behind him.
Okay. And do you want Ashlyn? Where do you want Ashlyn? Do you want her in the back, making sure no one sneaks up behind you, or going with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sneaking up behind us.
All right.
Because I believe the counselor and the science officer don't have a good security.
Oski the squishy. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Let me look at Rock. His security's 1, which is weird for me for a Klingon.
Yeah.
But you guys are just moving down. You see, you guys, like I said before, are on the second floor gangplank. I will say that when you get to about here, you're able to see just general consoles and crates and everything lying around. And then you can kind of look over, and on the ground level, on level 1, you can see a guard just at the entrance of the science lab, like the main part of the science lab. He seems to be facing inward, so he won't immediately notice you. However, you're on a gangplank on a metal floor above him, so if you move, in a careless manner, he's going to hear you. So I'm gonna let you determine how do you want your people to move? Do you want them to move in quick and just shoot everyone, or do you want to sneak as sneakily as possible?
He's a Romulan. He's gonna say, let's sneak in.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to convince Grelba of that. She's like, no, I will go in there and decapitate the Breen myself. And she's gonna try to start to move forward with her disruptor raised and her hand on her dagger. Do you try to convince her otherwise?
He goes, if we take out that guard, we can have an easy time with the rest.
She stops and looks at you. Roll a presence and command as you try to, or security, either one is fine, as you try to convince her.
Yeah, he doesn't convince her.
Oh, I don't even have to roll for that. You had 8 momentum. At least you didn't roll a complication. She probably would have shivved you, but because you are Romulan after all. She is just going to give you like a toothy grin and move forward. She is near your 2 security red shirts, so if you tell them to, they will try to restrain her. But you're pretty sure that will cause more noise, and you will be seen or heard if you do that. So it's up to you what you want to do, though.
I'm just gonna let her run ahead.
All right, fair enough.
It's gonna cause more. it's gonna cause more noise
Yeah.
than we need.
Yeah, and she might kill the guard. You never know. All right, so she's basically going to. She's not going to do like a running leap, but she is going to march with purpose towards the ladder that leads down, and of course that is going to get the guard's attention. Who is Breen, by the way? You can see him. Do you want to kind of stay back and let her take care of the guard, or do you want to move forward to back her up?
Well, she's gonna get herself killed, so I might as well go and back her up.
Alright, so the two red shirts going to move forward as well then. And as you get closer, you can see that there are 3 Breen soldiers at a central console down below. They haven't noticed you guys just yet. As the guard here begins to look up, and she is going to... Do you want her to go first, or do you want the... I'm guessing you want her to go first rather than the Breen guard. Is that...
Yeah.
Okay. She's basically going to jump down on him and bring... as she's falling, she's going to fire her disruptor at him. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that real quick. Let's see how this turns out. With, let's see, control. She definitely doesn't have a great control for sure. And security. She's going to try to shoot and miss. It basically grazes his shoulder and hits the ground beneath him. And now it is the Breen's turn. The Breen soldier is gonna bring up his disruptor and attempt to fire. Oof, yeah, he hits for sure. So basically he shoots her as she's leaping down on him. Let me go ahead and roll. Hold on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's supposed to have a vicious because it's disruptor. So let me put that in there. And so that's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, basically the disruptor bolt goes into her shoulder, and that causes her obviously to completely miss the target, fall to the ground. She's not unconscious or anything, but she is knocked down onto the first floor with a burned arm. Lex, it's your go. What do you do? And keep in mind, since you're the commanding officer of the team, your action can be to assist someone else. So you could direct someone to do something, and then with that you can be like, okay, I'm going to roll presence and command, and that will assist them in their action, if you want to do that.
I'm best off shooting.
You're just going to start shooting?
Because...
Okay, because you're a Romulan. Got it.
Yeah.
Alright, who are you shooting? So by now these 3 soldiers have noticed you, and they're drawing weapons. Okay. So
that dude right there.
Alright, so go ahead and roll control and security, difficulty 2, because, you're above him, but also, the angle is almost, it's really difficult. It should be difficulty 3, but I'm going to be nice and say it's difficulty 2.
I'm going to use 2 momentum.
Okay. So you're at 6 momentum left. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, well,
I want to re-roll.
Okay. Increase the complication range to 3 and re-roll it. Alright, so that's 5 successes. Gives you back your momentum and a bonus momentum. Roll damage, and I recommend using the bonus momentum to add another damage to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Well, I accidentally skipped a whole lot of crap. Oh well.
How's that?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you're using momentum to add another damage to 8.
Yep.
So you definitely have injured the Breen there. Actually, let me grab a Breen token. He is basically, he's not unconscious and he's not dead, but he basically has a big hole in him, and it's going to be really difficult for him to recover from that. Alright, so now it's going to be the other Breen's turns. Let me just put some tokens where they need to go. There, this Breen is just going to open fire at Lex. Actually, he's going to open fire at Grelba because she's on the ground level, but you are not, so it's easier for him to hit her. And he hits her. I don't actually think. Yeah, that's better. Ooh, he doesn't do much damage at all, though. Literally grazes her arm and just pisses her off. But she is kind of wounded, so she's not able to really do anything about it. Alright, Lex, who do you want to go next? Or you can just let the players decide. It's up to you.
I'll let the players decide.
Alright, Vazki, Rakta, which one of you want to go first?
You go last, as he is terrible.
that is true. But also, Rakta has a security of 1, so he may not be much better.
Oh no.
It's up to you guys. You could also let an NPC go, but, I mean, you guys are players, so it's up to y'all.
We got like 4 NPCs that are good at shooting.
Okay. We've only got 1 green in line of sight from there, because I'm guessing this is a wall.
Hold on, what was that? Yeah, so the hold on, let me put this down. This here is where like the steps are, the ladder. This
Right.
isn't so much as a wall as it is more like just a short, like a 3 or 4 foot rail that prevents people sort of kind of from falling over. So you could just
Right.
walk up to it and shoot from there without too much trouble, or you could use it as like partial cover. But if you want to get down, the only way to get down is basically there, unless you just want to hurl yourself over the wall.
That means there's nothing obstructing that line of sight then.
I mean, you'd have to get closer because of the angle, but I would say
Okay.
if you're here, you could definitely hit him. I would
Okay.
him.
Volsky will move to here, which I think he can probably do.
Yeah.
With just 1 bit, because
Yeah.
it's I think that's going to be close range movement.
Yeah.
And then he will at area with his Type 3 phaser fire to hit these 3, all in the same area burst.
But moving is a minor action, so you wouldn't be able
That's
to
true.
set that charge on your phaser.
Oh, is that also a minor action? I thought that was only aiming. Okay.
No.
In that case, he'll stay where he is, because it'll be a good one for next time, but he'll fire single then at this chappie.
Okay. Yep. Roll control and security. Difficulty is yeah, it's still 2 because again the angle. You guys are on the 2nd floor.
Yep.
But if you hit him,
Good enough.
he's out. He's unconscious. So there's that. You don't even
We've
have to.
we've got 6 momentum.
Yeah.
I'll consume 1 because truly terrible, and hopefully that'll get me to the 2.
Nice. All right,
As
so
we
you
get
guys
that
get
one
another
back.
momentum, and you don't even have to roll. He's unconscious at this point. He's losing a lot of blood because of the Romulan disruptor blast that hit him. But all right, so now it's their turn,
Fantastic.
and they're gonna. I'm actually gonna say for their turn.
When at the
Yeah, go ahead.
Starfleet standard phaser on stun.
Yeah, well, not all of you are Starfleet, so.
No. The disruptors are going to kill people, but he's going to try not doing it.
Gotcha. But yeah, basically, this guy is going to move up here to kind of assist. This guy, strangely enough, is going to move back. And now it's your turn again, guys.
He's gonna get one of the security personnel to fire back.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say he takes cover, which gives him a +1 to hit at this rail, at this kind of metal railing, and then he is going to fire. I wonder if is taking cover. Yeah, I think taking cover is a minor action, so he can't aim. But he is going to fire. Ooh, he gets a complication. His phaser momentarily fizzles out, and he cannot fire again. And now it's their turn. This officer, which you could tell by their uniform, this is an officer, is going to fire at Lex. Yeah, it's going to fire at Lex this time because, he's an officer. So he is going to do that. And he's going to hit. Let's see. Gotta find it. Character sheet once more so I can But he only has a disruptor pistol, which I'm gonna say. Roll that. See what he hits with. Ooh, 5. So remember, you can either spend a determination to get rid of an injury, or you can spend 2 momentum to get rid of an injury. But you can only do it once per scene. So if you do one, you can only do the other next time. Which one do you want to do? If you want to do it all, you can take the injury if you want.
I will take the injury.
That's crazy because you could potentially die next time, but okay. Alright, so you get shot, you got 5, and it's an effect, so I'm going to say you also get knocked down with the injury. So you'll have to spend a minor action to get back to your feet. And where does the beam hit you? Leg, arm, side?
I would say, arm.
Alright, so if you try to use 2 arms, or if you try to use... Which arm, right arm or left arm? I'm assuming your non-dominant arm, right?
Yeah, that'll be my left arm.
Yeah, so you can still shoot with your right arm, but if you try to do anything with your left arm, it'll be increased difficulty. Alright, so now it is going to be Rakta or Ashland's turn, or Crescent's turn. If Rakta wants to give up his turn for an NPC, it's up to him.
Can Rakta try a diplomatic solution?
He sure can try, yes.
He's been secretly learning the Breen language.
Ooh, nice. So he's going to speak in Breen, huh?
Unfortunately, it still doesn't make any sense, and we're beginning to think that they just speak gibberish on purpose to confuse their enemies.
I think so too. So what does he say?
With that, he is unsuccessful in communicating with them by nature of the language not existing, but he has deduced that they're not entirely being honest with their motivations here. They're trying to distract from something behind us instead of protecting what appears to be that they're guarding. His amazing psychological powers have deduced this.
Yes. Well, what action does Rakta want to take to act on this deduction?
Rakta walks over to the object that they have been annoyingly the object that they are paranoid about.
You can only go a certain distance. So I'll tell you what you can do. You can either take a minor action to move, which will basically get you to the ladder, and then next time you can move again, or you can use a minor action to move there, and then another major action to basically sprint towards the enemy, which is kind of between what they're supposedly guarding and you. But that doesn't seem very diplomatic. I feel like they just shoot you if you did that.
So, out of character, I'm imagining the thing that they're like actually worried about is behind the Star Trek people, the Starfleet people, and none of the other players have realized that.
No,
if that makes sense.
So one of the Breen officers started moving back behind the Breen further, because Breen aren't known for like their cowardice, so him moving further back is kind of weird. I don't know if you're on Roll20 or not, but if this is the one you're talking about, then yeah, he's moving this way, while the Breen that are attacking are moving towards you guys. So you would have to go around the Breen that are attacking you towards the Breen in the back, if that makes any sense, if you want to investigate that.
Okay, then I'm going to try to go around to the top side of that and sneak behind the Breen guards.
Okay, so I'll say that for your 2 actions, you can basically get down and then move along the wall so that, they're going to still try to attack you, but more than likely they're not going to consider you too much of a threat. As long as you're not shooting at them, they'll probably focus on the others. But again, things can change. Alright, so that's you, and I will say that this guard is now going to fire at one of you guys, probably someone on the ledge, and he misses. He fired at him and missed. Alright, Lex, I think it's back to you. Do you want one of your NPCs to go, or do you want you to go? It's up to you.
I'll go NPC.
Alright, who? Crescent, Ashlyn, or the other nobody?
I'll go either Crescent or Ashlyn because the nobodies are being useless.
Fair enough. So Crescent is going to run minor action to there, and then he is going to kind of fire a Klingon Disruptor pistol at that. I'm actually going to, yeah, at one of the guards. Securities for, okay. And, ooh, his disruptor.
Yeah.
Do you want to buy off the complication, or is this disruptor going to blow up in his hand?
Buy it off.
Do you want to buy it off
We
with
don't want
one
to-
or two?
One.
I
We don't want it to be blown.
Yeah. I'll re-roll that. Get rid of one momentum, and I will re-roll one dice to see if he does any better. Yes, he does, but one does not succeed in hitting anything, unfortunately. Alright, so it's the enemy's turn. I think this soldier is the only one that hasn't gone yet, so he is going to fire at probably Crescent for, moving. And he misses. Alright. So it's either going to be, I guess, Vosky, your go.
Okay, alright. Well, Vosky will continue with his earlier plan. He will now set his phaser on broad fire, area fire, and fire in such a manner as should hit these
All
four.
Yep. So if I remember correctly, and please help with me because you know how my memory is, as long as you get an effect, you hit at least two of them, and then the others is half damage. Is that right?
So from what I recall is it's full damage for everything, and you hit as many targets as you have effect
effects.
dice,
Gotcha.
well, additional targets as you have effect dice. If you roll a complication in the shot and there's a friendly in the area, it can hit them as well.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll, and then just tell me who you kill. What the world?
I'll consume a momentum again because terrible. And in theory, this could go very well. So. Ah, curses! Such a miss. And yeah, that's that really. He'll drop prone so he's in cover, but other than that, that's about that.
All right. All right. So this officer, as he kind of rounds a corner away from you guys, almost out of view, you see him begin to remove his helmet. And just as you're about to see what they look like, he's behind a corridor, behind a bulkhead, and you can't see him. All right. I think that's gonna put you at Rakti. You're up here now, trying to get around. They haven't fired at you yet, and you're trying to continue to go around to that breen that's kind of heading towards the back rooms. I assume, unless you have a different plan. Are you there, Rakti?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm still sneaking around towards the back.
Okay, so I'll say a minor action to get probably more than halfway there, and then another action to basically, as soon as your next action happens, you'll be able to see this guy, this officer, Breen officer, as long as he's not waiting there with a disruptor ready to kill you. Alright, so let's see. Next, I'm going to say it's this officer. He is going to charge... Actually, by now he would have seen that happening, and he is going to turn around and make his way towards Rakti. He is going to raise his weapon and point it at Rakti, but is Rakti armed? What is Rakti armed with, if he is at all? I'm guessing if he's a Klingon, he has some kind of blade or something.
Yeah, he has a batleth and the standard issue phaser.
Okay, so yeah, he's definitely gonna raise his weapon, and then on his next turn, unless you do something first, he is gonna fire. All right, Lex, do you want an NPC to go, or do you want to eventually recover from being knocked down?
I'll eventually recover from being knocked down.
Okay, and what's your task?
And I'm going to hide behind the wall over here.
All right. So that's it. All right, and then we're gonna go back to the Breen soldiers, and then we'll go to Vosky again. Oops. Alright. Oh, they hit somebody. I'm just going to roll some dice to see who they hit, because I didn't determine beforehand. I'm going to say... let's see, where's... only have a d20. 1 through 5 is Lex, because they did get 3 successes, so that it could have gone through the beams. 6 through 10 is this guy. 11 through 15 is this guy, and 16 through 20 is Vosky. It is 10, so it is this guy. And just gonna roll some damage. Damage, where is the damage? Oh, there it is. Two, 3, 4, 5. I think he was already shot too. So yeah, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure he was. I'm gonna say he's, let's see, it was 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's on the verge of death. It's up to you, Lex and Vosky, since you guys are the closest. What you want to do about it? Vosky will be next. So,
Excellent.
Okay.
Yep. Well, in that case, Vosky will crawl forward because he's almost right next to him, and attempt to provide medical treatment.
If only you brought a doctor with you.
I know. Which I'm guessing will be control medicine.
Yeah, I think control's good because of your species. It makes more sense to kind of try to deal with a human. Control in medicine is fine.
And no, it's fine. Actually.
It's not your fault. Your commander left you there.
I'm guessing.
Well, we had 3 other injured.
That is true, and you probably did the right thing. But I'm just saying.
I'm guessing since this is a very common Federation species, xenobiology won't count.
Nah. Do you have anything else?
I mean, unless he happens to be suffering from a disease.
Yeah, it's called disruptor disease. It affects many on the other end of a disruptor.
Nah.
Nah.
His medical knowledge tends to be more research than, oh shit, put a bandage on that.
Yeah.
So, that's fine. What's the difficulty?
Well, he's got like 1 HP left. He's been injured twice. I think the difficulty is going to be 3 just to get him stabilized.
3. We've got, let me see, 4 momentum. We don't want people to die. Yeah, I will consume a momentum.
Okay.
How many?
A single. Although I will actually buy a second dice with threat as well.
Ooh, thank you. I will definitely not use that.
Hey! Generate a momentum and successfully aid him.
Alright. Yep. So, you've got him stabilized, but if he doesn't get to sick bay within an hour or so, he's going to just go back to being kind of almost dead, so keep that in mind. Alright, so you did that, and now it's another soldier's turn. And he is going to fire at, let's see, who is he going to fire at? He's going to fire at Crescent, because Crescent is pretty exposed up there. Yeah, he hits him. 4, 5, 6, 7 damage to Crescent. Disruptor beam goes through Crescent's, I'm going to say his thigh, and he kind of trips and is about to like fall over the edge down below to where Grelba is attempting to recover. Let's see, Vosky went, so now it is Rockty. You have a Breen officer pointing a pistol, disruptor pistol, at you. He's probably 20 feet away. What do you do?
I dive away from him at first and reach for my batleth.
Alright, I'll say that diving away to get slightly further away. So do you want to be further away from the room that you're attempting to investigate, or closer to the entrance of that room?
Closer to the entrance, but more importantly, presents a moving target.
Okay. So I'm going to say that that's a minor action, so that basically when the Breen does attempt to fire, unless you do something, it'll be an increased difficulty for the Breen. But you can still, if you want to swing your weapon or whatever you want to do, you still have another action to do.
Then, as I approach him, I swing my bat'leth at his legs.
All right, I need you to roll a control. Oh no, a daring and security. Let's see. Yeah, just click on daring and then security, and then roll and see what happens. Nope, nothing. So you basically swing at his legs, and he jumps, and then as he lands, he is going to fire. But first, we're gonna go join the crew in the power distribution room. As far as you guys know, everything's going swimmingly. Angstrom, what and Durlock, what are you two doing? Are you just sitting there waiting for your buddies to come back, seeing what's going on with your crew members, or are you actively trying to get them to stop being catatonic? What are you guys doing?
Angstrom at least is trying to keep anybody from harming themselves. Like if anybody had weapons, she moved them out of their holsters or anything, just
probably a good
just
idea.
in case. Also, since she doesn't have a weapon of her own at the moment, she probably armed herself with one. And then the only other, so that's probably what her most focus is that.
Okay. Yeah, at the moment, Shamar, the Cardassian, has pretty much lost all of consciousness due to his, for the last 15 minutes he's been frantically shouting something incoherent about somebody called Duran or the infamous, something like that. And then he lost consciousness. Baines has remained unconscious the entire time. Kurava looks like, you took her weapons away, but it looks like she's every time she sees like any reflection of herself in the mirror, she just like touches her face like she can't believe what she looks like, as if she's suddenly changed. In fact, as you're walking, if you're pacing or if you're reading consoles, whatever you're doing in the meantime besides that, when you do happen to catch a reflection, you do see that your skin, the color of your skin has slightly greened a bit. It's become a bit more green. How do you react to that?
Well, hopefully she's got enough composure to at least not scream right at the moment, but I guess she also saw this before. But something about it also seems familiar. Though it is disturbing. Something about it is familiar.
And also your ears are starting to itch, and maybe they're even starting to ache a bit. You're not sure why, but yeah.
Just out of character, well, actually in character, she's probably also a little bit. If Shamar's been shouting, she's probably also like checking at the door, going, "I hope, did anybody hear that? Are we gonna get company now?"
Yeah, Klingon bulkheads are pretty soundproofy. I would say, and maybe if there was a room right next door that was occupied, but the science lab is actually several rooms away, and if I remember correctly, either above, one floor above or below. So more than likely, and like I said, unless someone was right next door, they wouldn't have heard. But yeah, is there anything that you two want to do in this room before we jump to the shuttle and see what? Oh, I clicked on something I didn't mean to. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Yeah, is there anything else that you guys want to do before we jump to the shuttle?
I don't think there's anything in particular for Angstrom anyway.
Okay. And what about Durlock, Commander Locke, your intelligence agent? What would he be up to? I don't know if you're trying to say something, but I don't hear you. Maybe your thing's muted again. Oh, my neck hurts.
Ash is in green, which means Gilded is detecting something.
Yeah. Well, just let us know when you get that fixed, and you can just let me know, and then we'll go ahead and implement that in the next scene. But for right now, we're going to jump to the shuttle. Da-da-da. Where's the shuttle? There it is. All right. Tali, your NPC red shirt is becoming restless and says we should definitely go. It's been 20 minutes. We should definitely go and see what the hell is going on, sir. With all due respect, don't think we should just sit here and wait for the cavalry, which is probably not coming.
We're not sitting here waiting. We are guarding the ship. This is the only means of exit from this place. However, I do feel like we need to touch bases with the other crew and see our orders. So I'm going to initiate lockdown sequences and we will leave.
Thank you, sir. And again, sorry for my misconception. I just I get antsy when I'm just sitting around doing nothing for more than 2 minutes.
Agreed.
All right. So, in order to lock down the shuttle, I'm gonna need I'm gonna say control and con roll, difficulty 1, and then I honestly don't think it's that hard to lock down a shuttle. It just they're Federation shuttles. They probably have protocols for that kind of thing. So, yeah, just con and control, difficulty 1, and let me know if you get a success.
13 and 8, and they both pass.
All right. So yeah, your shuttle's going to be good, and the security officer leave. Last time you guys came on the station, you remained on the shuttle before as well, right?
Yeah, just because I kind of had a feeling that they were going to try to escape, and this is our only means of escape, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you don't know the layout of the station, so you're basically out in the corridor kind of looking around, trying to figure out where to go next. So I'm going to jump to the battle for like 1 or 2 more rounds, and then we'll come back to you and see where you end up, essentially. What room you end up in, or what corridor you end up in. Alright, so start at the top of the round again. Lex, you're up. What do you do? Are you there, Lex? Lex is not here, so I'm gonna jump to...
I can shoot if you...
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead and control and security. And what kind of weapon are you using? Are you using a disruptor pistol?
Yes.
Okay. So don't forget, if you take the minor action of aim, you can re-roll a dice, I think. I think it's 1 dice.
I'm gonna aim.
Alright. Control and security, difficulty 2. Still got 3 perfectly healthy soldiers down there to kill. Alright, you hit them. Go ahead and roll damage dice.
And
1, 2,
there's a lot of comm shields.
Question, are you trying to vaporize the Breen or just kill them, like normal?
Kill them like normal.
Alright, so he's down. And I'm going to say this Breen goes next, and he is going to, after jumping over the batleth, he is going to fire. And let's see if he, now increased difficulty because of, Rakta's parkour ability, but let's see if he can get 3 successes and hit. I wonder if I should spend threat. You know what? I won't this one time. Oh, and he misses. Fires. Beam goes right behind him, hits a bulkhead, scorches it black, and then it's Vosky. You're up.
Okay. Vosky is going to crawl forward into the cover here.
Okay.
And then, since his weapon was already on area, fire again.
Again, gotcha.
On area. Hopefully, it will hit these 3 standing people.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to consume momentum because we're starting to get low on it.
You could always give me threat.
I could, but you're too keen for that, and you know I can't give you what you want.
I haven't used that much of it though. That can only mean one thing. I'm saving it for something else.
Yes, you say this like it's a good thing. But here we go. He misses. He's got good control, but truly, truly atrocious security.
Yeah. All right. So then it's gonna be another soldier. He is going to fire at Vosky because he fired at him.
Yep.
And let's see. All right. He misses. And Rakta, you are fired at by this Breen officer and missed. Do you attack back or run into the room? What do you do?
I attempt to run into the room.
You enter the room to find a human in a Breen outfit pressing a bunch of buttons frantically. The Breen is chasing you. The human, who doesn't look more than 20 years old, turns around, puts up his hands frantically. Stop! I'm sorry! Please! What do you do?
I stop and listen to him while attempting to block the Breen from entering the room.
Alright. We're going to come back to that as Tali and co. are in the corridors. I mean, not Tali and co. Tali and an NPC are trying to make their way. I need an insight or reason, either one is fine, whichever's higher, and engineering roll to see if you can maneuver your way through these corridors and find your crewmates, Mr. Tali.
Alrighty.
The difficulty is 2.
I got a 6 and a 13.
Is the 13 under your insight or reason engineering?
Yeah, it's a pass.
Alright. So you finally managed to find the power distribution room. And you walk in, which, you know, I think most people know that's where you guys were looking for to begin with. But you walk in and you find Dr. Engstrom and Commander Locke. So if there is anything anyone wants to do as far as, like, I'll say the NPC kind of is thankful to find someone finally. But he, being an ensign, he's not going to overstep. He's going to wait for the lieutenant to kind of ask the questions.
Report. Anything?
I think he's asking Engstrom.
Yeah, anybody that's like closest to me, I guess.
Okay. Whoever wants to.
We made contact with a few Klingons that were in this sector, trying to. She's just kind of explaining basically what happened, because I don't remember all that happened, but so she can update him on that.
Okay.
And she's like, and Commander Locke and I were elected to remain here because of our injured crewmates, and the others have moved on to try and retake different sectors of the.
We didn't see anything.
Well, I am not the ranking officer. That would be up to the commander. But medically, they're all stable enough to move from a medical standpoint.
Well, then I suggest we do that, and then meet up with our other teammates, if at all possible.
All right, Durlock, as the ranking officer in the room, Commander Locke, do you wish to move these individuals to the shuttle?
Affirmative. I'll give the order.
All right. So you guys head back, and I don't think you guys need to roll to head back. I will say whoever wants to can roll insight and security to as a basic perception check to see if anyone's following you or about to attack you or anything like that. I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying it's a good idea. I'll roll for Locke because I know he's not on yet right now. Let's see, insight. I don't even know if it worked. No, it Captain?
I got a 2 and a 7.
All right. You don't detect anything. You don't detect any Breen or any Klingons or anything. You guys managed to get back to the shuttle without any incident, any major incident. Go ahead and move to the shuttle. And yeah, once you get to the shuttle, I'm gonna let's see. Dr. Engstrom, where is your? There it is. Dr. Engstrom, once you and Commander Locke get aboard the shuttle, Commander Locke, you look at Dr. Engstrom, and you notice a more green hue to her skin than you noticed before, as well as some pointed ears that you definitely know that weren't there before. And that's Commander Locke that I'm telling for the moment. And then in a moment I'll go to Lieutenant Veth, and he's left. Okay, Lieutenant Veth, as you begin to take control of the shuttle again, you happen to look over and notice the same thing. That her skin is a bit greener than normal, and her ears are a bit more pointed than normal. Does anyone react to that at all, or is it just another day in the job? I guess they're both AFK. Alright. Jumping.
No, I'm here.
Alright. Do you not react at all, or?
I wouldn't know because I wasn't there for when they were all like changing. So I guess it would kind of be like a normalized thing for me. It's like, oh, they're injured, they're green, pointy ears, whatever.
I mean, you would notice if a human started turning into another species, though, I imagine.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would react to it. I would be like, what's going on here?
Are you there, Engstrom?
Yeah, multitasking.
Oh, sorry.
Is this really a good time to bring this up?
Are you asking the GM that, or?
She's kind of just like, we're in the middle of a crisis, different situation.
Oh.
Why are we talking about my appearance, kind of thing?
Just wanted to know. You weren't green before. No pointy ears either. Kinda worrisome.
Well, I feel fine. Whatever it is, I'll have to check it when I get back to the station, to the ship.
Okay. Well, just want to make sure that you're all right before we initiate the lockdown for our injured passengers.
Alright, if there's nothing else that you guys want to do or talk about, I'm going to jump back to the battle. If I remember correctly, we only did one round, so it's back to Lex. Are you there, Mac?
Yes.
Alright. What do you want to do?
He's gonna shoot again.
Alright, are you going to aim or move as a minor
Yes. He's gonna aim.
action? Alright, go ahead and roll control and security. Ooh, do you want to re-roll that? Well, actually, you aimed, so you get to
Yes.
re-roll that anyway, for free.
Yep.
Alright, go ahead. And you get momentum. You fire through the metal beams that are kind of protecting you, and you hit one of these guys. Roll damage.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah, do you want to vaporize him or just kill him like normal?
Kill him like normal.
Yep, he collapses. And now I'm gonna say it's the teenager's turn. He kind of, as you guys are out there fighting, and as the Klingon Rakta is trying to prevent the brain from getting into the room or to him. The human teenager kind of just keeps his hands up in front of him, like, please don't hurt me. I'm just here to, and please just take whatever you want. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Please. What is Rock to do? I don't hear anything, so it must be another issue with audio. It's funny, I think Durlock and I'm from Earth are having the same problems, because I see their green lights lighting up, but neither one of them talking. Yeah. Restarting Guild is always a good try, a good guess. But we'll come back to Rock to ask who sent him and what is he doing here at knife point. Okay, so as you raise the batleth, I'm assuming since you said what he's doing there at knife point, obviously the first story is a cover, yeah. But as you're pointing, I'm assuming since you said at knife point, you're raising your batleth up towards him. I'm gonna say that because he is not really taking an action, that he actually does some martial arts moves to kind of push in towards you and deflect your blade. Give me 1 second to roll this guy. Oof. I know I have his character sheet. What the hell? Did I not put it up? I must not have. That's crazy. Oh well. Alright, so that's going to be a daring and a security. Whoops, not 44, just 4. And I am going to spend 2 threat. And basically, your blade gets flung aside. He is not trying to do any damage at the moment. But it is up to you, Rockta, or Rockti. I need to re-look at that. Rockta, okay. Rockta, probably. How you want to react. Do you want to bring the blade back to attack, or do you want to take a step back? Or what do you want to do? Step forward, okay. So press the attack, I'm guessing. Oh, psst, fucking character sheet's written down, that's why. Grab his neck and push him against the wall. Alright, so your, that would be definitely daring and security. And if you get an effect, then if you get enough, when you roll the damage, if you get an effect, then you will successfully have pinned him to the wall. So I just need a daring and security. Difficulty is 2. Well, actually, it's contested. So your roll would be to contest this one, to be honest. So you'll end up getting to roll twice, I think, because you have to contest his roll. Ooh. Do you want to spend a momentum to re-roll that with a higher complication, or just spend 2 momentum to get rid of it? Get rid of that complication. It's up to you. Spend 1. Alright, so where it says complication range, click on 3 and then click on the task roll, or click on 1 for the task roll, and then click on the comm badge again to re-roll. Wow! Yeah, you were destined to roll a complication. Roll another daring and control. I am going to... He wasn't going to do damage, but you got 2 complications. I think he's going to do damage. Roll daring and security one more time as your major action, because you were just rolling a contested roll for the other one. And then I'll tell you what damage you take. Kittimer after, yeah. Retirement job. I mean, you decided diplomacy. Yeah, so roll daring and security one more time. 2 dice, and the complication range is still 1. And if you want, you can spend momentum. Oof. Yeah, so basically, as you're like shoving him, first of all, you take 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, just for stress. But as you then try to push him against the wall, he kind of slips out of your grasp relatively easily. I'll go ahead and 4. Okay. So basically, what happens is you hold up the blade to him. He kind of does this weird ducking under it movement and deflects it. And then you try to basically bring it back again, and he just elbows you right in the face, drawing blood. And then you angrily try to shove him up against the wall, and he just like dodges out of the way relatively quickly, and is now making his way out the door. So that was your roll. So I believe now it's Vosky's turn, because I think Lex already went. So Vosky, I think it's your turn.
Yeah, it's Vosky's.
I think that makes sense. The NPC security officer who I just helped, presumably they were using a Type 3 phaser?
I don't know if anyone specified what weapons there. I was going on the assumption they were using Type 2. But
okay, fair enough.
You feel free to spend... if you want to spend a momentum, you can say they have Type 3s. That's fine. But I will take a threat for it. So
that would... leave it as it is. Leave it as it is then. Vosky isn't going to give up his own Type 3 phaser, because what I was thinking is just like push one along to Lex in case this is much better! But no. Instead, he will... The two people up here, the two people that we recently bumped into, I'm judging from the fact that they're tilted only slightly, and from my memory of their earlier things, is that they are not as critically near death as this one who was further to the south. They're just sort of injured, but not horrendously so. Is that accurate?
Yeah, they're basically incapacitated for the fight, but if they're healed, they can be brought back up.
Okay, Vosky's going to crawl over to the closest one, staying behind that little sort of barrier, and attempt to give medical aid to him.
You're at the ladder at the moment, so you're in perfect view of the enemy. If you want to move a little bit more, if you go over there, you can do that with a minor action as well.
Fantastic.
Basically, any movement, as long as it's in the same general area, is a minor action.
Provide medical aid. We've got 4 momentum. I'll use 1 momentum, and control medicine. This one might be xenobiology, considering he's a much more exotic species.
We'll go with that, sure.
And yeah, right, here we go. No complications, but only 1 success.
Basically all you're able to do is kind of stop the bleeding as long as you keep pressure on it, but once you move away from him, he'll start bleeding again.
Okay, I can do something about that, but hopefully next turn. But that is definitely all of that. It's he gets over there, crawls along, starts trying to do his work, and this person's alien biology is just too alien, and that's by Vosky's standards. Oh yeah, no, if I fix this, it'll absolutely be... Why is he leaking out of a different hole? What? That's not supposed to happen.
Alright, so now it's the enemy's turn. This Breen is clearly gonna step forward, point his weapon at the Klingon, and I think he's gonna fire now because, he is not gonna fire at his commanding officer, who's a teenager. Alright, he hits the Klingon. Gonna roll some damage. 2, 3, 4. He had the pistol, so I'm not gonna have vicious on the pistol for the brain, because I don't know that much about the brain weaponry. But you do take 4 damage, Rakta, so that adds to your other 4, which I believe puts you at 2 left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you still have 2 left. And I'm also gonna say everyone can visually see what's happening as long as, like, Lex, you can see that this guy's running out. You see that the Klingon was shot. You see that the Breen did it. And I'll say Vosky, you probably can't from your vantage point, but Lex definitely can. All right. I think, let's see, Lex, it's your turn, or an NPC can go. It's up to you.
I've noticed that Ashlyn hasn't
Yeah,
taken a shot yet.
She hasn't done really anything, to be honest with you. You want her to take a shot? Fine, she'll take a shot. She's gonna aim for the Breen's. Actually, you know what? She's gonna make a crazy, impossible aim with to the Breen officer who's literally about to kill the counselor. That's gonna be a control, and I'm gonna say she has a, just for the fun of it, a Romulan disruptor rifle. So I am also going to spend. I'm going to spend 2 threat to increase the complication range to 3. But I will ask if I can have some momentum to make the shot easier to actually hit.
Yeah.
Well, how
Yes.
much momentum do y'all have?
3.
3? I guess just 1 then.
Yep.
4. So I'm gonna say the difficulty's 3 just because the distance and the fact that there's things in between, and also he's moving, and also she doesn't want to hit anyone else that's around him. So really the difficulty should be 4. Yeah, the difficulty's 4. But she hits him, and I'm gonna say it's on vaporize, and he is gone right before your eyes. He just turns to green ash, and this guy, the teen, like runs through his ashes to get away. So now Lex, oh no, actually now it's the soldier's turn. The soldier is going to fire at her because, you know, she almost killed his commanding officer. Control security. And miss because of, oh actually, she didn't take cover. She's right in front of the ladder. He hits her. So let me roll damage. You're like, no! One, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, not even an injury. So that's good. But she's gonna, she's hurt, but not like injured hurt. Like she could still move and fire. She just, it's gonna hurt to do so. Alright, now it's Lex's turn.
Okay, Lex is going to fire at the...
At the what?
He's gonna...
You're gonna shoot
he's
the
gonna try and
unarmed
fire.
kid?
No.
Okay,
He's
the
gonna
soldier.
try and shoot this dude.
The Breen soldier? Alright, go ahead and control and
Yeah.
security. And yeah, it's difficulty 2 because, you know, he's right there. You've got the high ground, as one says. Oh, wow.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Alright, spend 1 momentum, increase the complication range to 3. I'm actually going to increase the complication range to 5 with threat. So, complication range 5. Roll 1 dice. Yes, it worked. So you have still a complication. Do you have a disruptor rifle or disruptor pistol? Because I don't remember if I asked.
Pistol.
Pistol. You fire at him. I'm gonna say you hit him instead. And right now you might be thinking, well, that's fine. It won't be. So the energy beam goes through his gut and goes out the other side. And I'm gonna say, Rakta, because of your vantage point, you see that, and he collapses in bad condition. Roll damage.
Fuck.
Do you know who you just almost killed? You probably don't. 2.
No.
So that's 1, 2. That's 4 because of vicious. 4 damage to this teenager who has an Irish accent. Just saying.
Is this teenager one of us in the past?
No. Nope. He goes, "Oi, bloody bastards! I'm gonna make you pay for that." And he collapses onto his knees. So now I think it's. Let's see. Lex just went. They're all gone. He's fallen, but you know what? It's his turn, so he is gonna. Let's see. He is going to use a value. The ends justify the means. To essentially roll to escape the situation and get into a Jeffrey's tube and flee. So he's already got 2 successes. I'm going to say because of his injury, he needs 3 successes just to get away from the area. Let's see. Fitness. His fitness is 9. And his security is 4. So he's gonna... I'm gonna spend some threat to give him multiple dice. Oh yeah, he leaps through a Jeffries tube, and all you see is feet as he just flees, leaving behind him a trail of blood, and you know, flakes of burned skin behind and burned clothing. All right, I think it's Vosky's turn now. Vosky, are you still trying to save somebody? Are you there, Vosky?
Sorry, I remained on mute. Yep, he's still tending to these two's medical needs as best he can.
Okay.
Learning to gain more of an appreciation on top of the appreciation he already had for Engstrom and any medical personnel's actual ability is like, oh, this is harder than it looks. Yeah. He will make an attempt.
All right, control and medicine, and the difficulty is what did I say it was before? I think I said it was 3 before.
2.
Oh, 2. Okay, 2's fine. And yeah, you can use your Xeno focus.
Still not
Dang.
terrible, but still, you know, not making the situation better. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing as
So
before.
low
As soon
momentum.
as you move your hand away, blood just gushes out of his thigh or wherever he was hit.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, next time I'm going to have to start consuming values, but not for the moment.
Not for the NPCs.
Yeah, basically not for the NPCs, that is true.
In that case, I am going to have this Marine soldier. I'm going to have him run for the same escape route that his boss took. And now, actually, he's running, so that's his minor action, and he's going to aim at the Klingon who's in line of sight now. And as he, like, dives for the Jeffries tube, he's going to try to shoot the Klingon. I'm not trying to kill you, honestly. You're way away from everybody else, and it's kind of easy pickings for the brain. Ooh, definitely a hit. Yeah, you're no more stress for you. So it hits the Klingon Rakta goes down, burned through his torso, and this guy jumps through a Jeffries tube and disappears. We're out of combat. What the hell are you guys gonna do?
Okay. He's gonna say, do you have everything up here okay with these two? Vosky.
Are you asking Vosky? Okay.
Vosky will shake his head and say, I can prevent both of them from dying, but beyond that I'm going to need more trained assistance before they're safe to move or have a decent chance at recovery. I can just keep them as they are.
He's gonna jump down and run over to check on our Klingon friend.
Okay. He's gonna need like a control or reason medicine roll immediately. Difficulty 3.
I'll go control.
Alright.
And his medicine is shit.
You have determinations, and we're almost at the end of the episode, just saying.
Well, I'm gonna...
You can
Is
also
he a
go
Starfleet-
get your doctor, but that might take some time, so it's up to you what you want to do.
Is he a Starfleet officer? Yeah.
I believe so. I think he's just a Klingon who's in Starfleet, yeah, because his rank is commander, so yeah, he's a Starfleet counselor.
Basically he's gonna call upon the value to make friends with Starfleet people.
Alright, and so you get an automatic crit. Now you just need 1 success with a control and medicine roll to, you know, not have him die. And you got it, so you got a momentum. You've stabilized them. You still need to get them to the marathon like as quickly as possible, as well as the other guard, to keep them from like completely dying, but they are stable. What do you do next?
I will call the doctor.
Well, you have to physically go
Immediately.
get her because the subspace field prevents communication. So you got to send someone to
Oh, damn
physically
it.
go get her, or you can take them
I'll
to
send-
her. Whatever you
Can
want
we
to do.
take them to our...
You can, but don't forget you have directives and missions that you have to accomplish here as well. So you might have to split the party again.
Basically, does he see the device they were looking for?
That's going to be an insight and security or engineering roll, and I'm also going to roll Ashlyn to have her help, because her medicine's probably good being an empath.
Inside, yeah.
Alright, so she helps, so gives you... Okay, well, first of all, 1, 2, 3, plus 3 momentum, so that puts you at 5 momentum. If y'all had been able to calm Engstrom, she would have come running much earlier. Well, yeah, but communications is not working right now, so... basically, you got momentum. Now, if I remember correctly, you recover someone to the amount of successes. So you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, wait, that's
that's an insight.
1, 2.
That's an insight engineering.
Yeah. 3, 4, and then you got your 2, so 6. So Rocta gets 6 stress back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he only has 2 stress down. You still got to get him, for the sake of the story, you still have to get him to a sick bay. But
Yeah.
and with that roll, with the engineering roll, you do find in the middle where these guys were, working at a center console. You do find a weird-looking ancient alien device that looks like an old rock. Imagine that Vulcan device that they used for like telepathic destruction of people's minds in that TNG episode, the Gambit. That's basically what it looks like, and it's like mounted into the console here. You can also tell just by looking at the console that this is where they kind of caused that quantum bubble to go out and mess with everyone's sense of reality and perception. You need to do a couple of things though before you can remove it, because you think if you just immediately rip it out of the console, it's going to cause way worse things to happen. You need to restore the science labs. Actually, you don't have to. Let's see. Disable the quantum bubble around the alcove. So you need to align the ion field to reactivate the science lab, because the science lab is not completely active. Basically, the only thing that's really active is this central console. And you need the other parts of the science lab to, maintain structural integrity and all these other things. That's going to be a control or reason and engineering difficulty 2 roll. So, by the way, you didn't tell me, are you splitting the party to get people to safety and leaving someone here to do this, or is you just going to do it real quick with everyone here and then take your people to the shuttle?
He's gonna do it real quick.
Okay.
So he can start.
Control.
He'll get everyone to start moving.
Yeah. Everyone, assume everyone is getting ready to bounce, but,
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to, I am trying to rush, but only because there's so little to do. And then once we get to the shuttle, we can continue with the roleplay bits. But align the ion field to reactivate the science lab. Control engineering difficulty 2. Does anyone have a decent engineering that can assist?
I do.
Okay. Now, as soon as you walk away from him, his blood's gonna start spewing out again. Just let you know.
That's what I was about to say. Would
Centurion
Ashlyn be able? Oh, yeah.
Assume it's done.
Cool.
Yeah, he just rushes over as soon as he thinks of it, and is now trying to keep Crescent from bleeding out from his thigh, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so you're over there, so now you can assist with engineering. I'll allow a science in this one too. Control or reason, engineering or science.
What's the difficulty?
2.
Okay.
Yep.
Can I use true momentum?
Sure. Don't ask me. It's y'all's momentum.
Yes or no?
Oh yeah, sure. It's an important.
Yes.
One will be assist.
All right, so you already got one success. Just need one more. All right, so you got 2, 3, 4 plus momentum, so you're up to 7 momentum, which you're probably going to need soon. So as you get the ion fields in everything realigned, you realize good thing you did that, because you now need to destabilize the shield emitters, because the shield emitters are what's projecting this quantum bubble that's causing all the problem, and you need to destabilize them before you can deactivate them, because if you just shut down the shield emitters, that's going to cause you all to cease to exist. So you need to destabilize the shield emitters. That's going to be a control and engineering or security, difficulty 3.
Okay, I'm gonna use 2 momentum.
All right. I'm also spending 2 threat to increase the complication range to 3.
And I'm using engineering.
Okay. Is anyone assisting with engineering or security?
And assist with engineering.
Okay.
Let's control engineering.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
All right. 3 and 4. So you get another momentum. You're up to 6 momentum. Now you need to initiate a safe navigational scan power-up. Why did I put that there? Initiate a save. Oh yeah, ignore that. That's just for determining your current location, which is unimportant. You need to stabilize the EPS grid, which is surging power through the shield emitters. So you need to stabilize that. Control and engineering or science, difficulty 2 with a complication range of 3. I'm going to increase the complication range to 5.
He's gonna use 2 momentum.
Okay.
Because the
Yep. Control and engineering or science.
and
I'll assist
Bosky
again.
can help. I'm assuming
Yeah.
Bosky's gonna help.
Oh yeah. I have relevant specialisms and so forth.
Nice. I'll let you figure out how
Reroll
much.
that.
Oh, yep. Are you re-rolling it with an increased complication range?
Yes.
All right. So, oh wait, I said it's 5. Okay, so we'll do it this way. I'll hover the thing over it, and let's see. I think 17, 18, 19, 20. No.
Or I just use,
16.
or I can just use, or I can actually use just spend 2 momentum. Can I do that?
If you want
You
to,
guys?
sure. Yeah. Because otherwise, you'd be at like 14 and up is a complication. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
All right. So you got 2 momentum, and now I'll let you add all that because the difficulty was just 3. Or no, the difficulty was 2, so you can add up all that momentum.
That's another 4.
So everybody, including everyone who's in the shuttle, you guys can visually see. You didn't notice it before because Klingon space stations and ships are naturally tinted red and brown and bronze and stuff like that. But like you can visually see a tint or a hue lift, and whereas before it was much more darker and subdued, and there's like a more brownish tint to it. You can clearly see that was a result of the quantum field, and now that quantum field is removed, enabling the use of transporters, communications, and scanners. I'll let you guys determine what you want to do about that.
Is this the conclusion of the process to safely remove the device, or is there more steps?
Yeah, no, you can
left
remove
to
the
do?
device. In fact, you can see Grelba is limping over, trying to get to it before you guys do.
He's gonna just grab it out.
All right, you remove the device, and she slumps to the floor, defeated.
Bosky
He
will
goes,
tap his
"Bosky."
communicator. You please
Yeah.
carry on, Nick.
He goes, he'll let you go. He was just gonna give you the quantum
Excellent.
mechanic.
Okay, Volsky will, before he takes it, and he'll take it very gratefully, but he'll tap his communicator. Beep-de-deep. Lieutenant Volsky to Dr. Engstrom.
This is Dr. Engstrom. Go ahead.
Dr. Engstrom, we have 4 severely injured persons. We believe that transportation has been restored. Are you in a state to have your wounded transported to a to the medical bay aboard the Marathon.
Engstrom will turn to the lieutenant, Beth, assuming that he's hearing what she's hearing. We'll just kind of mouth it. Are we good?
He might be AFK.
Nope, I'm here. Yes. Should we? Are we around the? Are we around where the transport ship is?
Oh, that's right. I forgot we left the shuttle.
Where did you guys end up going? Back to the power distribution room? No,
Yeah.
I thought you went to the. I thought you took everyone back to the shuttle, though.
Yeah, we went to the shuttle. That's what I mean.
Okay, so what are you asking exactly?
So we already have 2 of the injured people. Maybe I could just flick on the transporters and transport the other injured.
Yeah, transporters and comms and everything is back online. Everything is mostly running normal. The ship is still in the weird location that that it wasn't supposed to be in, but I mean, there's nothing you can really do about that at the moment. But you can transport people now and communicate.
Sorry, Engstrom's just no good with transporters, so she's not doing that on her own.
Yeah,
Inherited trauma.
I'll say it's a control and engineering difficulty. I'm gonna say difficulty 2. Well, actually, difficulty 3 because you're in a tight shuttle and you're gonna have to transport quite a few people onto a 6-person pad, which it's a shuttle, so it's probably not even 6 people. It's probably like 3, but yeah, it's gonna be a difficulty 3.
All right. Give me 1 sec.
In fact, I am going to increase the complication range to 2, so an 18... No, to 3. An 18, 19, and 20 would be a complication.
Got a 4 and a 2.
Alright. You transport everyone back, and... By the way, do you have a focus in transporters or anything? Let me see. Where is it? Veth...
A focus in computers.
Oh yeah, that would definitely help with making that 2 a success, or 2 successes. So yep, everyone's transported back to the shuttle. Now I need a control and con to get you guys out. And while you're rolling, if there's any conversations or roleplay that you guys want to have, feel free. Everyone, the only people that's still back on the station is that human teen and his Breen guard. Everyone else is safely back on the shuttle.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And he.
Should we transport them into a holding cell or something?
Not with we don't have prisoners.
You don't really have room on a shuttle to transport prisoners with the amount of people that you got.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, your sensors won't detect at least one of them. So yeah.
I would try to say if there's any humans, can we lock onto the human?
You can, but your sensors go back and forth between human and Breen as it tries to lock on. It will be, since you do have everyone aboard, but if you try to get him, it'll be a difficulty 5 with a complication range of 5, with a high probability of him not showing up on your shuttle as you intended.
Yeah, I won't risk it.
Vosky will say something along the lines of, we should take steps to ensure that the transportation and shuttle facilities of this place are locked down to limit his ability to escape, and then we can pursue him at our leisure.
Yes, I agree with that one.
Alright, I just need a control and con from Tali for the flying to get you guys back to the ship.
1 and a 2.
Alright, go ahead, Matt.
He goes, Vosky, did you forget something I was gonna give you?
No, he has it.
Yeah.
It's all nice, and I'm assuming it's got some kind of, if not, he would have attempted to create one, some kind of like safe carry device.
What are you carrying?
Not he'll use
the quantum device?
The quantum device, yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
If it doesn't obviously have one, he'll make a safe carry like box for it from the shuttle pod's replicator.
Yep, no problem. I mean, it's a shuttle, so it's got, containers for things like that. And yeah, you guys are flying back to the marathon, and then it explodes. No, I'm just kidding. Is there anything else that you guys want to do on the ride back?
What Fosky will do is he'll first use his own tricorder, and he'll also ask if the ship's internal sensors can be used for this, to try and get as much bioscans of the people inside the shuttle, because he's thinking, yes, the quantum device interference has just faded away, but maybe there are some residual effects. Maybe I'll get something in these last few minutes as things are fading. I can then compare that to other data, so he can do a compare-contrast with the data from before, to see if he can learn something valuable about how all of this worked and why people were getting strange memories and biologically changing.
All right, roll a reason and science. Difficulty is mostly going to be scaled, but generally it's going to be a 1. Like if you get 3 successes, you'll probably get more information, but 1 will give you a decent amount of information, the important bits anyway.
I'm going to do something really, really stupid, because it makes very poor sense out of character, but it makes sense in character, which is, this is something that is truly fascinating and goes to the deep fundamental forces of the universe. Vosky wants to put everything he has into it, and so even though this role doesn't matter, I'm going to consume determination.
You are literally trying to save people's life with first aid, but you're going to spend determination on this. Okay, whatever.
One of his values is the forces of the universe can be controlled.
Nice. I like that. All right, go ahead and make the roll and...
In science, will I consume momentum? We've got 5. I'll consume 1 of the momentum.
I mean, after this episode, they're all going away, so I would use as many as you want. Okay, that's fine.
So that's a total of 6 successes.
Yep, which you're not getting momentum for it, but I will tell you that the changes are continuing, and the device is still emitting energy. It's not harmful in any way, but you can tell that it is reality-altering energy. And you can also tell it is not having any effect on Rakta. It's not having any effect on Casey Baines. And let's see, who else? Are those the only 2 new players, conveniently?
Veth would also be...
Veth, that's who it is.
Unaffected.
Yeah. Also not Veth. It is only having... Basically, out of character, it's only having an effect on the players that have played this module before. But it's
that's very interesting.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't appear harmful. Like, you don't think if you hold it up to Angstrom, she's suddenly going to turn into an Orion. But you do think that it's gradual, and it is going. It's kind of has the same kind of properties without making everyone too paranoid as like a Bajoran orb, how it's like emits chronoton radiation, and it has effects on people who view it and all that stuff. But it's more gradual, and you also think that even if you destroyed this thing, it's not going to change what's ultimately going to happen to those individuals.
Oh, so it's as though their fate has already been sealed,
yes.
And that the temporal effects of this allow it to continue having an effect after it has been destroyed, because it's determined time long into the future. I see.
Yep. Almost as if the GM is using it for a purpose.
I know. So he is going to be. Well, this is fascinating, both in and out of character. So Vosky's reaction to all of this is, shall we say, very obviously concentrated and intense silence, as he's over his workstation, just harvesting all this data for later in detailed analysis.
You sense in the shuttle, as you're looking over things, you sense a presence hovering over you, assuming there's no other people hovering over your shoulder trying to get a look at it. But you hear it's a female voice that's familiar, but you know you haven't heard it in your lifetime. And she says, "Well, that is interesting." And when you look back, you see a dark-skinned Romulan female that the name Kithel rings in your mind. And when you look around, Officer Kesson is nowhere to be found.
Okay, so immediately Vosky is going to raise his voice, not an outright yell, but enough to get everybody's attention, and say, "Everyone, we may have an inadvertent intruder." So essentially,
Everybody,
I think everyone's-
as everybody turns to look at you, you don't know what he's talking about, because as far as you're concerned, Kithel has been with you this entire time.
What are you talking about?
This, oh, wow, this person here was not present a few. And then he realizes after he started speaking that, oh, wait a moment, hang on, I'm the one who's out of time, and if I start saying things, they're going to think I'm crazy.
It's the episode
He's-
parallel
From TNG, where Worf is transported to different universes, and he's like, "What the hell's going on?" And they're like, "Nah, it's you, man."
Yeah, and he knows it's not him, man, but he also knows that absolutely everybody here has very little reason to suspect that. But he knows that this ship is leaving the station. His first thought is that he's been transported into some kind of alternate universe because he's the only one with the memory. Like, he's the anomaly.
Yes.
But since they're flying away from the station, he's thinking, they've clearly just undergone very similar events. So let's see how similar. He will try to bottom that out by looking at his tricorder's sort of recent activity log to see if the tricorder he's got has got similar kind of scans and so forth to the ones he was just doing, because that'd give him a clue as if the Vosky that he's just inhabited was doing the same thing.
It tells you everything you would expect for it to tell you, including whenever you scan Crescent.
Okay, that's interesting. And do the ship's sort of recent activity notes that he'd be able to see from the station also tell the similar story?
Yeah, as far like you said, as far as Vosky is concerned, he one of two things has happened: either Crescent has literally become another person, or he is in another universe. But everything else is telling
exactly the
Vosky
same.
that it's the same, which seems to suggest he's not in another universe. Because if he was, then his tricorder would be reading something different as well.
Would be reading something different, exactly. So okay, he'll turn to the whole crew.
Or he's just got really
say-
poor memory.
Yeah. He's a clever man. He's got a good memory. He's totally not the absent-minded scientist trope. So he'll turn to everybody and say, as you are aware, we have just left an area of immense temporal and dimensional disturbance. I believe that it has recently manifested in that a member of our crew has just vanished and been replaced by this woman here. I would be grateful if I could inspect the mission rosters for this mission, as it may reveal what I suspect, in that this lady was not part of the original mission roster despite your memory.
I then go, knowing that Vodsky doesn't joke around about these things, he would be like, it would pique his interest, and he'd be like, yeah, let's go and look at the mission roster.
You look at the mission roster of who was... Are you talking about the mission roster of the away team or the mission roster of the space station?
The away team.
Vosky is on it, Lex is on it, Karaba is on it, Angstrom is on it, Veth is on it, Johnson and Smith are on it. Rakta's on it. Basically, all the people that you Ashlyn and Locke is on it. All the people that you expect to be on the away team roster is on it. Shamar's on
Oh, so I thought this. So I do apologise. I thought this person replaced a member of the away team. I do apologise.
He replaced Crescent, the security officer on the station that you met. The Kryosian.
Okay, we can get the. Hopefully, we can get by electronic transfer the Starbase's crew manifest and do the same thing.
I mean, you could just hack it, not hack, but you could just connect into the station and remotely upload it, and that would take like 2 seconds, and it would tell you that there is supposed to be a Kryosian named Crescent as a security officer there.
This Crescent is now absent and replaced by this person.
As far as you can tell, it's only affecting the individual. It's not rewriting reality outside of where you guys have this device. So like, if you called Crescent's mom, his mom would be like, yeah, he's on that space station. What are you talking about? Like, it's not, it's limited in scope, basically.
Has anyone tried to do a scan on her?
Who?
Yes, actually, because I've got the internal, I've got the biodata of everybody on the ship.
Yeah, who are you talking about, though?
To see if this person's Crescent or not.
Oh, yeah, if you want to run a scan on Kethel, then, I mean, I'll tell you for free. It's going to tell you she's a Romulan. I will say that her genetic code, the quantum signature, is off by like 0.02 degrees, indicating she is not from this quantum universe.
He looks at Oski and he says, he's not from this universe.
I had suspected as much. Then he turns to Cathel and says, my apologies, we have been talking about you as though you were not here. First of all, are you well? Secondly, what are your recent memories?
That is a long story. As she says that, I don't think we have. Do we have any telepaths or empaths in here? I don't think we do. I don't think Lex, Lex is empathic.
Empath.
Okay.
Yep.
You start to sense multiple from Cathel, confusion, but also like multiple emotions and responses of the same memories and of the same. Almost as if her memory engrams have been duplicated. And as Lex begins to kind of reach into her mind to try to understand what's going on, you suddenly remember everything from the previous campaign as if it had just happened. You remember Shamar from that universe. You remember Engstrom being mixed with the different genetic code of another individual. You remember the neuroparasite, like the entire campaign. It's almost like they happened back to back, or even simultaneously if you want.
He just looks at Dr. Engstrom. He says,
who is still
now
partially green, by the way.
Now I know what's happening to you.
I suppose I should be relieved, but she's still kind of like, she's just like, why are they all of a sudden paying attention to me? I've just been treating people in the back while they're talking of while they're studying an artifact or something.
He goes, Engstrom, something caused your DNA to change a bit. It's not going to be harmful.
Famous
She
last
glances
words.
down at her hands, which again are slightly greened, and goes, well, I suppose it's a relief, but, okay. Not much I can do on a shuttle about it.
Does he remember that Dr. Engstrom wasn't really good at a job in the other universe?
That's unfair.
Brutal.
But yes, you do. You remember everything from the previous universe, as if you were both versions of Lex.
He walks in and goes, hey, Doc, Have you let anyone die recently?
She just looks at you like, why would you ask that? And she's like, do any of these people look dead? Come here, or sir. Like she's a little ticked off by that.
Oh my
because she
God.
doesn't know your context.
Yeah. Wow. Oh man.
Okay, I'll go back to the front of the ship.
Yeah, we'll say that the shuttle is now docking with the Marathon, and I guess my final question is there any roleplay scenes or anything that anyone wants to say before we end the game? I will do reputation and milestones at the end of this episode.
Ethel answers questions, which, because not only has she just changed universes, she is way too calm about it. So until Cthel has answered questions, Volsky will recommend that they be kept under strict surveillance and scans.
Cthel tells you that she has experienced everything that you guys experienced as if she was Crescent. In other words, if Cthel was in this situation, what she would have done, which wouldn't have been much different from what Crescent would have done. So like the way she sees things is slightly different. Is she probably wasn't rushing in, to the science lab to start shooting. Like she probably hung back a bit, but she still got injured. Like she remembers everything as if she was physically there.
I see. Well, this is fascinating, as you will be aware from your inherited memories. We had suspicions that alternate versions of ourselves were being transplanted onto these versions of ourselves, either in whole or in part. But now it appears as though someone entirely unrelated has been able to be transposed onto someone else or substituted for them. A most concerning and interesting change in the behavior of the quantum anomaly.
And then Locke turns into a Borg. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, man. Yeah, I just thought about that. I was like, wait, Locke is an android. I could just make him an android Borg. But yeah, anything else? Any other questions or any other comments or roleplay that anyone wants to do?
Engstrom has one.
What's that, Engstrom?
Just as Engstrom is treating the counselor, at some point, assuming that he's going to be that he doesn't look like he's dying. Or
no,
you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But she'll kind of just go, I think I need to set up an appointment. I'm having some really strange memory flashes, counselor, and I can't explain it. I'm a little concerned that I may not be fit for duty.
Go on.
Not now, just whenever you're well and we can schedule an appointment. But I don't really feel like I'm not comfortable. She kind of looks around and just goes, I'm not comfortable talking about it with everybody on the ship listening. Doctor-patient confidentiality, you know this as much as I do.
Very well. Meet me in my quarters in 2 hours.
Understood.
He's intentionally forgetting that he's injured.
Kind of glance back to like, after I get everybody back to the bed bay in one piece.
Yeah.
Basically, Lex is waiting for you to heal his arm up.
Your arm's... Oh yeah, you got shot again, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His arm hasn't been medically treated.
Yeah, I mean... I'm assuming Engstrom was focused on the people that were almost dying.
Yeah.
But also, you're back on the Marathon, so you're pretty much good as long as you can make it to the sick bay within the next 16 hours. You should be fine. But
he's just sitting in the med bay, waiting.
Yeah.
Patiently.
Yeah, like I said,
she's gonna ask some medical staff to see to you personally.
Yeah, by the start of the next episode, everyone's gonna have all their HP back. Everyone's gonna be healed again. But if there's a specific scene, Mac or somebody that you guys want to do with that, that's fine. Otherwise, just assume you'll be healed by the time next episode starts. I'm assuming you're not saying that just because you want to be healed. I'm assuming you wanted to get Engstrom's attention for some other reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Anything else?
Oh,
What was that, Mac?
I was only doing it so I can get Engstrom's attention.
Careful not to turn into Gollum with this artifact. Yes, good luck with that. Well, Angstrom is passing you on to another doctor, apparently, so...
Yep.
Anything else? I'm gonna go ahead and if